Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Model Train Technology. Today, we're going to talk about some DC-only light boards for your passenger cars and cabooses. Now, our first product was a light board for my Kato passenger cars, and we put a DCC decoder in it, and we've done all sorts of things, including what's called train sense, so motion sensing, digital motion sensing. And so that board's been super popular. We have it for N scale and HO in different lengths for different cars. We've also had for 5 years or so, at least 5 years, a DC decoder version of our Caboose board. That was the first product. And I have one installed on this little Caboose tray here. And we've had it for HO as well. And one of the things about Cabooses is they don't come with the wheel pickups. And so I'll get back to that in a minute, talking about floating brass. But what I want to show you today is our DC only light boards. And so if you don't have DCC and you want to light your Caboose or your passenger cars, there have been some solutions out there, but I thought we could do better. And so what we've done is we've used the same footprint and size board that we've used for the other products and just made it DCC friendly. And we've had a couple of iterations of these boards as well, and we have sold them and they've been on the website, but we never really did an announcement and showed people what they were. We just kind of released them and people found them on their own. So I want to talk about that today. So in the DC area for light boards for N scale and HO Caboose, we have these boards today here. And so there's the two Caboose boards, HO and N scale, and I'll do a zoom up so you can see what's going on here. They fit right inside the Caboose carcass, super simple to install. And in the past, you had to kind of fiddle with resistors and things to get it just right. We've added a microprocessor on here, so adjusting the brightness, changing the functions is really easy. So I'm going to show you how that works in a minute. But I want to tell you that when you buy a Caboose board or either one of the Caboose boards or one of the light boards, you can also purchase these floating brass strips, which are used to connect the wheels together, the axles, and then run a wire up through so you can get power. With the HO kits, these come with it. So when you buy the kit, you get the board, you get the brass, floating brass, and you get some wire to connect it up. And you also get a little chip, and this can be used to put in the cupola if you like. So that comes with it. We do sell lanterns for both HO and N scale, and if you'd like to add that in when you're buying the Caboose board, you can certainly do that. They're very tiny, they're LED based now, and they're pretty simple to install, and there are quite a number of videos on our YouTube channel on how to do that. So I'm not going to get into the install part really today. So let's zoom in so I can show you more about how the boards work and how easy they are. Let's start with talking about the standard functions. I have the 144 millimeter DC light board. It comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 LEDs. There's a little push button here. Down at the end on the right-hand side are 2 wires that would go to the wheel pickups. So we'll get to the wheel pickups a little bit more in just a few minutes. I have just a simple Bachmann DC power supply here. And at about 3.5 to 4 volts, the lights will come on. And we have the red rear light on the board, mostly as a test function. So you can play around with that. Usually what you want to do is disable that, and you can disable it with the push button. There are 2 pads back here, two sets of 2 pads. One set is for the little chip that you can put in the cupola, and here's a close-up of that chip. Okay, and you just solder the 2 wires to the board as we have in this N scale version. And what I'm going to do is first disable the board just to show you how that works. So 3 button pushes, and the light will go off, and the blue light down here will flash to tell me that that's working. Now, once you get power up and you've set the brightness, regardless of how fast your train is going, the brightness up over about 4 volts, which is pretty slow, the brightness will stay the same. Now, if you think it's too bright or you want to make it brighter or dimmer, what you do, so for the main lights, all you do is you push the button and hold. And when you first power up, the direction of the adjustment will be up. So these will get brighter as I push this. I'm going to push it now, and I'm going to hold it, and you see the bright lights go up. Now, if I press it now again, it'll go and get less bright. All right, so one push button, it goes up, and then if you push it again, it will go down. All right, let's turn on the rear light again, and this connects. This red light could be your rear lights, your lantern, and you can have it on solid, 1, 2, 3, and the light will come on. And it looks a little bright. Let's say that's simulating the lantern lights on the back, and I want it to be less bright. So now what I do is I'm going to push the button twice and let it blink, 1, 2. The blue light blinks, and now when I press this, it will get brighter. Now when I press it twice again, 1, 2, and let it blink. Now when I press it, the red light will get dimmer. Okay? And once you've done that, once you've made that adjustment, you can turn off the power, and it will remember that when you turn the board back on. Now we also have our super caps on here, capacitors on here to help with a flicker and so forth. And I'm just going to disconnect the wire. And one of the things you want to look for is the lights will fade, but they won't go off. So there's some stored up voltage in the capacitors, and it dims in a second or two. But as the train is going, it's only fractions of a second during which the train car may not be, the contacts may not hit the wheel or so forth. So it's so fast that the capacitors keep the board and everything lit up. And of course, with DCC, it'll just power up back there. Now, we have a video at the end of this section, at the end of this long video, of a customer who installed 2 trains with our DC light boards. And you'll see that it's just beautiful setup. And he loves it because although in his case he uses Kato, so we don't have to mess with the wheels, it's just a beautiful setup. And if you have a DC only layout, this is the way to go. Now, if you have HO scale and you're looking for DC light boards, contact us and let us know. We do have on the drawing board a version of the light board for HO. We haven't gone to full production. We'd like to figure out what the demand for that is. So let us know if that's something you're interested in. Okay, so that's just the DC light board. Pretty straightforward. All of the boards, whether it's the Caboose boards, or the passenger car boards, all function the same. So turning this off, turning the lights on and off, dimming them, and so forth is identical. There's one function I forgot to mention is this light is solid on, and most of the time that's what you want. But a lot of customers want it to blink. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is the option to start the light flashing about 1 per second. And now if we're going to put this into a car, after I get it all set up, I might turn the blue light off. That's 5 button pushes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the blue light will blink and then extinguish. So the next time you turn the board on, okay, just turning it on, just disconnecting the power, it'll remember its settings. So if I'm going to drive the down, okay, and then bring it back up, and the light will be exactly the same. So there's a 124 millimeter board for shorter N scale passenger cars. Typically we use this for the baggage car in a long passenger train setup. This longer board will fit all of the Kato passenger cars, and it'll fit other cars as well, but just that's the basic setup. All right, so we have the same thing with the HO board. Okay, and the LEDs come in 2 colors. They're both white, but one is a more yellow white more like you'd find an incandescent bulb in older times. And then the other light is this one, which is 3000K. So 2000K is the more yellow one, 3000K a little bit whiter, a little bit more current, you might say. And the same options for the N scale Caboose board. All right. Okay, so we have one HO Caboose board here. Let's turn that, just connect that up. It's going to look pretty much the same as what you just saw with that one. I do have an LED connected to the end of it here, so you can see what that looks like. And I'll just grab the clips here, turn this on. Turned the lights off in the shop so the picture would be better, but I couldn't see the wire. All right, so I'm just going to add a little power here. And this is the 2000K version. So you can see it's a little bit more yellow, and I have the red light, rear light. You can buy just the red rear light. You don't need the lantern. Those are a couple of bucks. The lanterns are $10, which includes the lantern and the wire, and you can just connect it up to the board, and it works the same. If we want to make the lantern blink, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so now we'll get the flashing red light in the back. All right. So a close-up of the floating brass. As I mentioned, there are other videos. But what we've done is we include in the Caboose kit this very thin floating brass strips. You cut them off and take one of the strips and you wrap them around the axles. And we've talked about these kind of pickups before. They float on the axles, all right? And then you solder a little piece of wire and it goes up through the bottom and attaches to the board. So that's how it gets electricity. And with the super caps on, there's not much weight to this. So having the super caps on helps to prevent the flicker. Again, here's the push button here, and it all fits inside an N scale Caboose. Here's another example of that. This is with the HO size, and you can see the floating brass. So that's how you get the electricity from the track up through and into the Caboose, in the case where no Cabooses come with wheel pickups automatically. All right, so those are all available today, and if you have any questions, contact us at support@modeltraintechnology.com. Thanks for your attention.